wife says, no, it was like totally like sort of something together, but not like romantic. So that's the question. Where was it going? And it's been like moving on. Do you think they would be like together, or is it more like a sponsorship thing?
I think they had a really good I think they became friends. I think Daryl and Beth were so different, and when they kind of paired up and became partners for an episode or two, I think that they really bonded and they really saw each other in a different light. And I think before we can see what would happen, Beth died. So I don't really think that it was romantic. I think it was just the beginning of a friendship. But I don't know what the writers had in mind. They never mentioned to me any certain way. They kind of left it open-ended, I think, purposefully.
Hello Emily, hello Seth, welcome in France.
Thank you.
The tough question of you two. What are your best memories during the Walking Dead set?
Some of my best memories are ones where we got to shoot something all together, because I had a lot of scenes where it would just be, me and one other person, especially towards the end. So I always think about at the end of season 2, when before we've gone into the prison, and we're just sitting outside of it, and we're all sitting around the campfire. I specifically remember that evening being a really, really nice evening with the whole cast, and all week we had been just doing like fighting zombies, running stuff, so it was nice to just sit and be with everyone. So that was one that I like.
Some of my favorite memories are trying not to laugh in scenes with Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Josh McDermott, because they're both very funny in very different ways. Josh is very intellectual and dry-witted, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan curses a lot and is very self-deprecating in a Rodney Dangerfield way. I'm sure you guys don't know who Rodney Dangerfield is, but there are children here, so I won't repeat what he said, but they were usually very colorful asides that it was hard to maintain a straight face for.
What intangible things did Beth and Father Gabriel miss from the old world? And how do you think those little moments of reflection when they missed the old world and they couldn't grab onto it, but they wanted to. There's little nostalgia moments, for example. Like, what do you think Beth's one was, and what do you think Father Gabriel's one was? The way to essentially keep hope in a landscape that seems hopeless.
I think Beth missed music and being a kid and being creative. Right away in season 2, once they're in the prison, you see her sort of like decorating her bunk and all these things that she's drawn. And so I always imagined Beth to be a very like creative, artistic person, but when you're in survival mode, which they are in so much of this series, there's not a lot of time to like be creative, creative really comes from times when you can have some boredom and let your mind wander, and I think that's probably what she missed the most, is just getting to sort of be more creative, wander, and not be in survival mode.
I hadn't really thought of things. I don't really think Father Gabriel had many reflective moments that were joyous for him. But I would say he probably missed manicures and pedicures and facials the most.
How was it to be...
He's a very metrosexual patron.
How was it being brought back to interact with Jadis or Pollyanna McIntosh? Was it just quite a joyful experience?
It was. I really enjoyed working with Pollyanna the first time around on The Walking Dead. I like her energy, I like her sense of play, her fearlessness, the lack of vanity. All of those things make for a lot easier exchange for me as an actor with my partner. If I know that they're not worried about how they look or how they sound, then I'm less likely to worry about how I look and how I sound. And we're actually probably going to get a little deeper into the characters, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about her, is that she helps to ground me, you know, in the scenes that we did together. So I was very excited to work with her again.
I feel as though I would survive quite well in the Walking Dead world, because they're slow zombies, right? Maybe I'm very naive, but they're slow. And so often when you see those movies that experience the zombies with fast pace, there's almost a degree, an extra degree of danger. I was wondering, what are your favorite zombie films?
28 Days Later.
It's beautiful. What about it is
I think, speaking of what you're saying, the speed of the zombies. I think the speed of the zombies, as well as the sheer number of them, made them far more terrifying.
And so how would Father Gabriel evolve in a world where suddenly they're faster?
I think he'd get faster.
What about you?
I don't know if I have a favorite zombie movie. I think The Walking Dead's my favorite.
Oh, of course, The Walking Dead's the favourite. I mean, that's obviously, but it's a TV series, and I'm saying movie. Yeah, come on. You gotta choose one, Emily.
No, I don't know enough. I don't know for zombies.
We'll come back to it. You can't leave until you give
For
us.
scary movies, I really liked Quiet Place, and I like all the old school, like all the old school like Scream movies, and I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that kind of stuff.
Were there any particular influences for your characters when you brought them to life in The Walking Dead, or did it just emerge from your own sort of personal work and training? Donc est-ce que les personnages qu'eux ils ont créés, est-ce que ça vient de juste eux-mêmes, ou est-ce qu'il y a une influence extérieure? Est-ce qu'il y a un personnage qu'ils connaissent ou quelque chose?
I mean, when I first joined the show, they didn't show me a lot. This character isn't in the comic books. I did go back and start reading some of the comic books when I was cast. So a lot of my putting together who the character was with the scenes that I did have, and then talking with the creator, Frank Darabont, at the time, he was texting a lot back and forth with me when we were first doing like hair and makeup and what Beth would look like, and then with Yulin. So I really feel like Yulin helped me, who is the costume designer. You know, and I would say...
Sorry, what can you...
Yulin is the costume designer for Walking Dead.
But can you expand on how you two collaborated together?
Yeah, just talking about what she would be wearing, how she would look, and then also as she, you know, as she left, I do find what I wear and how I feel to really influence how I'm going to play a character. And just little things like deciding to put the braid in her hair, or like deciding what necklaces she would wear and where those necklaces came from. Those were decisions I made with Yulin, who is the costume designer at the time. And so I really feel like she influenced my character quite a bit. And then also with hair and makeup, deciding that sort of thing, like what she would look like. I remember putting into place those first decisions. And then also I feel like my time with Lauren, who plays Maggie, of course, that really influenced also who Beth would be, and my time with Scott Wilson. All those things sort of played into who she was going to be as a character. And then of course, as we went to season 3 and 4 and 5, there were little decisions, so we were sort of like always adding on, even her interest in music and what kinds of pictures would be up in her prison cell, and that she would be taking care of the baby. Like all of those things started to sort of really build who Beth was and who she was within that family.
So do you find, both of you, that when you play a character, be it The Walking Dead or another show, that the creation that emerges out of you is a collaborative process, and so you're almost more witness to a character being played through you? Is that too far out?
I don't know, for me it always starts, with words and how the character talks to, like it's a bunch of little things that all add up to who a character is. I mean, I bring myself to it. Like I said, during seasons 3, 4, and 5, we did add a lot to who Beth was, and that filled in some blanks, but before that I have to fill in the blanks myself. So I'm putting just more of my imagination of who I think she is, and where I am similar to Beth, I kind of filled in the blanks in that way. And then, like I said, it is collaborative because I think about what my relationship to Lauren or to Maggie would be, and to my father, and just all those things sort of start to fill in the blanks of who Beth is and how I'm going to play the character.
I just learn the lines and try to, not make an ass of myself mostly.
Any questions from the public? Yes?